Hi, this is Debbie again. I am going to show you a few more things that I have noticed since then and just to show you a few more angles to the death mask. And so what I did is draw and outline these main features. So if you're having trouble seeing those things that I see, if I draw it out on this picture that is pretty damaged, you might see it a little bit better. So you can see the flip perspective because I believe that this was a daguerreotype that wasn't fixed. They just naturally come out that way. And then this is the older Joseph Smith. Okay. So those are the videos, and now I'm just going to pull these up, having drawn on this so that you can see these a little bit better. First, I will show again. This is the same guy but older, and this guy's very thin. I also read, I was looking at Fair Mormon, and they were talking about, this theory that, not theories, but Brigham Young accused Emma of poisoning Joseph, but most people knew and understood that he was sick, and they were specifically talking about 1843 to 1844, so I was wondering why the death mask in this picture, which I think was taken in 1844, he was so skinny, but he would just throw up all the time. He was just known to have that problem, which could be resulting from so many injuries and so many instances, and he was poisoned in Carthage jail. And he was starved there. Maybe he never gained the weight back, or just had trouble keeping food down, or maybe he was shot in the stomach and left the bullet there. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway. So I'm really emphasizing here that, well, the hairstyle. They part the hair on the same side, and it's just combed. It lands on the head the same way, and his hair is more full. But I did some markings. You can really see that hairstyle where it's combed forward, and that their ears are at the same angle. His face is angled a little bit more to the side. One thing I found really interesting, so I'll just point out the similarities between these two, and you can look at the original, but I really am just marking this wrinkle here. It has that same little line there. Hooded eye on his left, and then less hooded on the right. And the shape of the mouth is very similar. You can see the right side of his mouth just comes up for whatever reason. Left side goes down. Right side of his mouth comes up, goes down. But I'm really marking this because you can see top lip looks thinner than this guy, but you can see he's pursing his lips. And just even the shadow right here, like, I'm assuming this is 1844, he's running for president, and he is thinking of everything they've been through, and a little bit mad. A little bit emotional as his photo is getting taken. He's probably just thinking of all this and just wishing he could just fix everything. It just makes me sad. He looks very sad here. So those are similarities. I'm going to pull up various angles of the death mask that I've also drawn on. And these are all just found online. So this is a straight shot. Something I noticed today. It's just something I see every single day, something else that matches exactly. So clearly his nose has not been broken yet. Here. This angle, you can see really well, it matches there. The lips are really, really, really similar. So let's just really focus on this here. You can see this line, which people pointed out and said probably happened when a glass of acid was shoved in his mouth, and it broke in his mouth, so it could have cut his mouth, and maybe that was just more minor injury that wasn't talked about quite so much as the fact that he said he was bleeding all over his face after he was tarred and feathered the same day as that glass was shoved in his mouth and broke a tooth out. This is a damaged photo, but I can definitely see just dark spots. I didn't draw on this. These look like scars all over this man's face. So hot tar could have given him, I would think, like a second-degree burn, and then as they spent all night ripping that off, and he even mentioned ripping the tar off his mouth. So it was definitely on his face, just so he could yell for help after he was attacked that time. The things you don't see yet is another time I'm sure he was attacked. It's not documented, but it's obviously here that his nose is broken. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that down. But really the clincher is this older photo. I mean, these are the same man. I'm just really looking at the eyebrows. Like, there's just so many things I'm noticing all the time. I can just really see that angle above that right eye is the same here. And so I drew in the shape of the eyebrows. With this man, they really, really match. And then this eyebrow is more straight, and that one's more straight and lower. And when I draw this line here, you can really tell this is a hooded eye. That's a fully hooded eyelid. And this is a more sunken in eye. And then you can see that this side of his nose is more concave, like that. And then it might be hard for other people to see unless they're on my computer looking, but there is this exact shape here of the nose. And that just matches perfectly. And of course the chin really, you can see that really well in this older photo. Pulling this one up again, something else I noticed. I didn't draw on this, but you see this line. So I drew this line here so you could see the Cupid's bow matches exactly. The shape of the lips are just an exact match. How often does that happen and not be the same person? I don't know. That is just absolutely amazing to me. And then I really just would love to pull up here the side of Joseph Smith's death mask. And so I just drew on it with white. And you can really see the inside of this man's right eye. And that angle matches up exactly. And that nose. And then here's another angle. You can really see that hooded eyelid. There isn't even a crease right here. So I can see this line goes to here, and that just matches up. And then this really deeper set eye in those eyebrows, the mouth. This is just a really, you see that sharp angle right there? You can just see that exact same sharp angle around his face. And I was reading something from a Mormon just today, last night actually. This morning because I stayed up late, but this reports about Brigham Young, accusing, they settled that case about him accusing Emma poisoning Joseph Smith, but by showing other accounts where people just said he just often got very sick, especially people talking about it happening between 1843 and 1844, which is before he died, that he would just throw up all the time and couldn't keep food down. I just had a lot of trouble with that, so it would explain why he was only in Carthage jail for 2 days. So he wasn't starved that time. It had been like 6 years since he was in Liberty jail, so he should have recovered and gained some weight, but I think that, it could have been damaged from being beat up, kicked, who knows, or just a lot of times when people are trying to go from being extremely underweight to eating again, I know I've heard that is also common to just have trouble eating food again. He could have been sick. There's so many things that we don't know. Either way, I can really sense from both of the photos, I'll pull up the unedited photos, This guy basically went through so much, and I believe this is him, and I believe you can see it from these photos, so I would love it if whoever owns this, it looks like from that website, it might be somebody in California, I don't know if, and he says he thinks they're Mormon. I think the guy that was selling them on eBay was from the RLDS church, from other things that he said. And it would make sense. You can watch my other videos for more explanation about where these two photos came from. But yeah, they're the same man. I just really think it's him. And I think it would be a good thing for us to really have these photos and just to see what he's been through. I mean, how could somebody go through that much separate occasions of physical abuse and just permanent damage to their body and face and just be lying for it? I don't think so. I believe he believed, and I believe him. So enjoy this video.